Okay, so I'd like to begin this conversation by simply asking what's rural. And it's a tricky concept that seems so intuitively obvious, but it becomes less obvious the more you examine it. And so I kind of think about this like asking someone what is art. Well, everyone knows what art is, but then if I really get you to dig into it, it becomes pretty indistinct pretty quickly. So there's a couple reasons why this is a tricky concept. One is that rural is institutionally defined in multiple ways, as I'm sure that you know. So, for instance, there are the metro, non-metro distinctions used by the Office of Management and Budget, the U.S. Census definitions, and the NCES metrocentric locale codes used in the Common Core data. So if we look at these, okay, census definitions, rural refers to open country and settlements with less than 2,500 people. So by this definition, as of 2010, about 19% of the population could be considered rural by residents, down from about 21% 10 years ago, or 15 years ago now. And despite the population concentrations in urban areas, the other side of the coin is that geographically, the U.S. remains a highly rural country in terms of the sheer land mass, as this map suggests. And also, I think you can think about the way we think about this country as an urban country and an urbanizing country. But if you spent much time flying across the country and looking out the window of the plane, you spend an awful lot of time flying over vast stretches of empty and rural area. By contrast, the Office of Management and Budget designates counties as metropolitan or micropolitan, depending on the size of the urbanized area within them, with all the remaining counties designated as non-metro. And so, using these criteria, the non-metropolitan territory is not as extensive as the rural territory, but it's still significant. So about 75% of the U.S. landmass is non-metro, and about 16% of the population resides in non-metro areas. And this is a non-trivial distinction because we often throw around the term rural without really a lot of times referring to what rural we're talking about. And often non-metro and rural is used simultaneously, as is the census definition. But so this has operational limitations. So I live in Centre County, which is up at the top there, and that's a metropolitan county. Although that scene with the Amish buggy going down the farm lane, that could literally have been taken a mile or so from my house. But it is a metropolitan county, which puts it into the same county category as Albany County or even Los Angeles County. So there are some issues there. And then there are the NCS Common Core data urban-centric locale codes, which are based on a place's proximity to census-defined urban areas and classifies territories into 4 major types: city, suburban, town, and rural. And each type is then subclassified into 3 subcategories. So this typology allows for a much more greater precision in defining an area and also provides a finer grain analytic potential. So that's good as far as that goes, although it gets complex pretty quickly.